Picture this. You're in a committed relationship where your partner swears they love you more than anything, yet they're nowhere to be found when things get tough. They ignore your messages. They skip out on the big moments that matter to you. And right when you're drowning in chaos, they vanish without a trace. Most of us would label that partner straight up toxic, wouldn't we? But here's the wild part. Billions of people devote their lives to worshiping a higher power that pulls the exact same moves. Now, what if I revealed that a cunning 16th century strategist had already cracked the code on why this dynamic exists? And what if his explanation flips everything you thought you knew? See, the common take is that a deity's silence either proves malice or straight-up non-existence. But Niccolò Machiavelli, the ultimate architect of influence and control, would shake his head and say, "You've got it backward." In this breakdown, I'm diving into Machiavelli's most provocative principle on supreme authority. By the time we're done, you'll see why the cleverest play in the divine playbook was choosing concealment. Here's the core insight Machiavelli grasped that slips past almost everyone. Familiarity breeds contempt. This isn't just a clever proverb. It's a raw fact of how our minds work. Reflect on it for a second. Recall the early days with a new romantic interest? They were enigmatic, thrilling. Every notification sparked excitement. But fast forward to sharing a home. You know their exact routine for getting ready in the morning. You've witnessed their lowest points, and poof, the spark dims. Machiavelli spotted this pattern in rulers and commanders. Those who tried to blend in with the crowd, who were overly approachable, and every day, they eroded their own dominance. The ones who kept a calculated distance, emerging only at pivotal times, they inspired awe that lasted generations. Now, layer this onto the divine. Picture a supreme being popping into your daily routine, chatting casually over breakfast. How's the job treating you? Reminder, I'm all-powerful. How soon before it all feels routine? Before you dismiss eternal insights with a shrug? The harsh reality is, we undervalue what's perpetually on tap. Machiavelli recognized that enigma sustains command. The instant you demystify someone completely, their imperfections surface. You begin doubting. You figure you could outperform them. But a concealed deity, one who communicates via subtle signals, inexplicable gut feelings, synchronicities that could be wonders, that deity stays captivating. That deity keeps you intrigued. That deity upholds the essential element every bond requires to endure: intrigue. This is where it gets fascinating. Machiavelli nailed a concept today's behavioral science backs up. Ambiguity doesn't erode connections. It fortifies them. Enter intermittent reinforcement, the most potent driver of habits we have. Casinos exploit it with slots. Swipe-based apps leverage it. And per Machiavellian reasoning, the divine employs it masterfully. Consider, if every plea for help got an instant, unmistakable response, what happens to belief? It evaporates. Belief inherently thrives on the unknown. Absolute certainty wipes out the need for belief entirely. Yet the real powerhouse is this: folks stay hooked when the outcome is unpredictable. That contact who replies without fail right away, they barely cross your mind. But the one with variable timing, quick sometimes, delayed others, they dominate your thoughts. A manifest deity would mimic the instant replier. Dependable, yes, but dull and foreseeable. A deity you could book like a meeting would devolve into universal tech support. But an elusive deity, one whose ways defy logic, that's a deity who spurs pursuit, speculation, involvement. And involvement, folks, is the bedrock of any enduring tie. Now, Machiavelli's depth shines here. He knew genuine essence emerges only when actions go unmonitored. An overt deity would taint every choice. Acts of generosity would chase celestial favor. Ethical decisions would be skewed by awareness of an all-seeing scorer. Sure, behavior might improve, but would it be authentic? Machiavelli fixated on real motives in governance. He sought the unmasked self, not the facade. The sole path to true revelation is watching when scrutiny seems absent. Concealment crafts an ideal arena for unfiltered humanity. When you aid another without certainty of oversight, that stems from your core. When you opt for truth where deception could prevail unnoticed, that's unadulterated integrity. Look inward. Your unguarded self is the authentic version. The version under spotlight? Mere act. Divine veiling dismantles the act, exposing reality. Here's an angle rarely explored. What if the seeming void is deliberate tactic? Machiavelli delved deep into timed retreats. The pinnacle of command can be withdrawal, allowing others to rise or reveal. Love can demand breathing room. Power often manifests in holding back. Recall key figures in your world. The ever-present fixers who smother, or those who appear decisively, impart insight, then step aside for your independence? Perpetual divine oversight would breed reliance, like overprotective guardianship stunting maturity. But tactical seclusion compels self-reliance in ethics, intellect, resilience. And the twist, scarcity amplifies impact. When a seldom-seen ally carves out time, it's profound. Rare praise from them hits hard. A veiled deity's breakthrough, sudden epiphany, sensed event, fulfilled wish feels like a hard-won treasure. Machiavelli saw further. Affection sometimes necessitates separation. Paradoxically, deep care can mean absence. The supporter who cuts off codependency for a friend's recovery. Parents who cease rescues for their grown kids' accountability. A partner granting space for self-discovery. What if divine elusiveness shields not only us, but the bond? Direct encounter with boundless might, insight, compassion. Could your psyche withstand it? Would choice survive? Would your identity persist? Perhaps concealment mirrors averting solar glare, not disinterest, but safeguarding from overwhelming brilliance you can't yet process. And perhaps divine regard is profound enough to shield you from a revelation that could shatter. Machiavelli's lens on this illuminates contemporary influence games. Top influencers cultivate calculated enigma. They withhold full disclosure, skip every ping, limit access. Scarcity builds worth. Iconic labels tease rather than spill. They imply, invite exploration. Charismatic individuals shun oversharing online. They retain allure, sparking curiosity. In romance, the slightly elusive partner with independence, variability often sustains passion long-term. Yet we impose alternate standards on the sacred. We expect godly affection to mean non-stop access, swift replies, blatant acts. But what if celestial bond employs the same human dynamics that sustain our ties? Machiavelli would counter our pleas for visibility. We crave the opposite of our claims. Proof demands would kill belief, robbing depth. Endless proximity would breed indifference. Instant fulfillments would reduce the sacred to a dispenser, unworthy of reverence. Total problem-solving would halt our evolution. The awkward fact, and always their deity would deliver our wishes, and we'd resent it mistaking sacred partnership for servitude. Machiavelli taught, authentic dominance seeks no applause. True affection skips endless reassurance. Profound insight knows silence's timing. Thus, his core on divine seclusion, its peak assured affection. The most admired in your circle approval chasers, constant hoverers, or those secure enough for space, valuing your agency, fostering your potential. Divine veiling signals confidence. In your uncertainty handling, unsupervised decisions, quest-derived purpose. Perhaps the veil hides a truth. Sublime bonds flourish on trust, not surety. Mutual strength, not reliance. Selective intimacy, not ubiquity. The elusive divine isn't indifferent. It's invested enough to enable your fullest self, even amid doubt, seeking, isolation. The ultimate offering isn't omnipresence, but faith in the bond's strength sends it. Your crossroads, Insist on deity by your script, schedule, proofs. Frame veiling as flaw. Or view it Machiavellian style, the pinnacle of relational artistry. Autonomy with direction, purpose-preserving wonder, affection sans obligation, with one potent enough for coerced assent, yet sagacious for voluntary, detectable to seekers, veiled to honor pursuit's grace. The query shifts from why the veil to your readiness for affection secure in its subtlety. Grasp the tactic and see, not absent deity, but master strategist outmaneuvering the ordinary. Perhaps that's the deity meriting devotion. Decision's yours.